Okay, I'm content with the idea of the existence of God.
Praise be to Allah.
But I have another question.
Good.
How can we accept that this universe didn't come by chance? Or running by chance?
The whole chance thing is a means to pull the wool over people's eyes. It's just not workable. Okay, I want you all to just imagine with me. Say we got a group of chimpanzees and we put them in one room, okay? And we gave them pens and papers, and collectively they started doodling on these pieces of paper to produce the most beautiful Picasso-inspired art. Would you believe such a thing? No? Can't it be by chance? Okay, there is a chance. Then we give them fresh pieces of paper and they start doodling and writing on these pieces of paper to produce the best work of Shakespeare. Would you believe such a thing? No, of course not. So we can start dropping this chance thing. Did you know Einstein said, every scientist becomes convinced that the laws of nature manifest the existence of a spirit vastly superior to that of man or men. Do a search and you'll find this quote. So what am I trying to say? Coincidence or a chance can happen once, twice, maybe 3 times, but billions of times? How could that be? Do you want to try to convince me that a human being is created by chance? After a single sperm cell enters the womb? So the one single sperm cell is responsible for the creation of a human. See, there's a creator. Okay, assuming things were by chance, you want to say that billions of humans created from the time of Adam till the day of judgment, all created in the same placements of features, nothing came out wrongly? Billions of chances? Not to forget everything around you? Suppose chance or coincidence happens once, but would never result in a system. Is that clear? So you don't get a system out of it. As long as it's described as a system, then it can't be a chance. You enter a factory, you see scheduled clocking in and clocking out time, employees working according to a certain protocol with a handover system in place, and lead production line and an assembly line. Can we say that this factory is working by chance? It's a factory. Or can we say that this is run by system? System. Once we say it's a system, it can't be by chance. So is this a religious contest or fact-based?
Factual.
It's factual. It's factual and logical. There's a very, very beautiful character. His name is Abu Hanifa. There's a little sweet story about him. As a scholar back then, he was approached by a group of people who told him that the universe was created by chance. Just so that you know that this question is quite an old one. So they said, let's debate this. He said, okay. But then he just ignored them and didn't turn up. And they were upset and really, really upset about it. And on top of that, eventually he turned up a couple of hours later. They were all worked up about it. We agreed a time and you're a couple of hours late. So he said, I'm terribly sorry, I just had an issue on my way here. You know, I live on the other side of the river, so I couldn't find a boat to get me to the other side. Then how did you eventually get here? Basically, as I was stood there was a plank of wood that just came and settled before me. And then another one from the other side. And then the third one came in the middle, and the 3 came together, and then the waves on this river pushed the flow of water till it got me to you. You're making fun of us. You just discredited yourselves. That's what he responded by. Your logic one accepted 3 planks of wood forming to create a boat, yet happily believed the universe was created by chance. There's another great person called Anthony Flew. He was a teacher at the University of Oxford, a philosophy teacher. He was an atheist that didn't believe in the existence of God, and then he changed. He wrote a book called There Is a God. Wherein he declared his belief in God. You can look him up in Google, Anthony Flew. Did he revert to Islam? No, he didn't, but he believed in God. We're not focusing on the Islam part as much as we're focusing on the belief in God. He said it's impossible that this universe is created by chance. When asked why does he think that, he replied, having read philosophy, My heart guided me to, and this is the important point. See, it's not about the mind or thought, it's the mind and heart. My heart didn't accept this as the norm. Such an intricate, accurate system in this universe, the creations, the animals, the suns, the moon, and all of this life. It must be a system. So I went to the Department of Statistics at Oxford University to ask them. So here's some evidence-based context. And I asked them for one thing to happen by chance many times over. Just one item in the universe. For example, your birth. Just one item. Or this plant produces a particular fruit, let's just say grape. So what's the statistical probability that we get the same yield tens and hundreds of times? So the statisticians came back with an answer of 1 over a billion. 1 over a billion, and this is just one item. Universe created by chance. They can't be serious with this. Words of somebody having a laugh. Words of somebody who doesn't even understand statistics or even life in general. Mathematicians at Plymouth University created an experiment similar to what I mentioned earlier. They brought 6 monkeys and put them in a room. They gave the monkeys food and drink for a month and placed a computer in the room for them to hit the keyboards and left them to it. They'd hit the keys and the keyboard, but producing mainly S's in a row, but not a single word. Do you understand the idea? Between them, they couldn't put one word together. Not even a space after the letter A. So you see, chances can't create a system. So you see, after all of this, we can't even entertain the word chance in this equation. Even the largest explosion.
Ah, yes, the Big Bang.
The greatest, largest explosion.
Isn't this considered to have happened by chance?
Firstly, the Big Bang is not refuted in the Quran. Do the disbelievers not realize that the heavens and earth were one mass, then we split them apart? So this is a sign of... So the Quran did not refute the Big Bang. Heavens and earth were one piece, then we split it. Okay? This then brings me to another question. Let's assume that the beginning of the universe was actually the Big Bang. So you're saying this big explosion happened. Don't explosions need elements? Who made these elements? Where are you going to go away from God? There is an ayah in the Quran that answers these people. Or were they created by nothing? Or are they their own creators? Where then are the elements used? Where did the raw materials come from? Who made it? You say Allah didn't make us, or attribute the bang to chance. Who created the raw materials that led to the creation of the universe by chance? So the Big Bang can't have processed all these elements that led to the creation of all these different systems. Let's be logical here. That's 1 over a billion for something like this to happen.
Interesting. So I have a question.